Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it is Paydirt review time again. And today we're going to be visiting eBay, but this time an Australian seller in eBay, Subconnect. And this is their 300-gram bag, and it is guaranteed gold nuggets off of eBay. But I'm going to be really curious. I love Australian gold. I'm going to be curious to really find out what's in this bag. So let's just go to the overhead, classify this down, and then we're going to pan it out and get some of that Australian gold. But first, let's flash up the description. As you saw, a very lengthy description. Actually had to remove parts of it that were redundant or didn't have anything to do with the Paydirt. But I do have some issues with this description. One is it says suitable for all ages and experience, and yet on the bag itself it says gold flakes can be very fine. We recommend using paper filtration bags. So if the gold is very fine, I don't think that's suitable for all levels of experience or ages, unless you don't want to recover the gold. It also says gold nuggets guaranteed in there, but we all know that nuggets have no defined size, so pretty much anything could be a nugget. But when most people hear the word nugget, they're thinking bigger gold. So we'll have to see when we open up the bag and pan it out. Another issue is it says you may find other valuable specimens and minerals in your bag. And they give a list of them from natural crystals to copper to palladium, silver, and mineralized quartz. And then right underneath that it says the value of all other high-grade minerals or metals are considered in the value of our products. In other words, they're considering those as part of the ROI or value you are going to be getting in this bag. But then right after that it says, if found, they are a free added bonus. Well, they can't be free if you're counting them into your ROI or into the value of the bag. So not really sure about this description. We're going to have to pan it out, and then I will, of course, score it later. But that's the description they have. Let's open this bag up. And as you see, it does come with a rather big sticker. I really wish it had something on there about the gold and the Paydirt and not just construction, mining, and technology. But it is a free sticker, I guess. So let's open this up. I don't know if you can see, but a lot of the gold is sticking to the bag, so I'm pretty sure this is wet, and it is. It's nice and damp in there, so I'm going to go dry this off, and then we're going to be back, pour it off, and check everything out. But let me weigh it up first. There we go, all set to grams. It is supposed to be 300 grams, 332 grams. Now we're going to go dry it off and see if it's still 300 grams. Well, it wasn't too bad after all. It was just slightly damp. It only took a few minutes to dry out, but let's weigh it up again just to see. I'm pretty sure it's still going to be over the 300 grams. There you go, 308. Now let's check it for magnetics. Really nothing, not too much. So pretty much no magnetics. And let's just listen to some music and classify this down. Now, as you can see, the vast majority of this is in the +10 and in the -40, with very little in between. So I'll be curious to see where the gold is, but the only way to find that out is to pan it out. So let's just go get some water and pan this out. So have my water, have my pan, have all the Paydirt, and let's just get started with the +10 and listen to some more music. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and it was a little bit difficult to go through. The Paydirt itself wasn't so difficult. It's the gold that was pretty difficult, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. First, let me just show you off the gold I did find. In the plus 10, one piece, that's it, just one little piece in the plus 10. In the minus 10, plus 20, even more gold, about 15, 16 pieces in there. So nice Australian gold. And in the minus 20, plus 40, even more gold. Again, probably 16, 20 little pieces in there. So pretty happy with that. And lastly, in the minus 40, even more gold, but not much. Probably, again, 20 pieces in the minus 40. Now, you might be saying to yourself, I thought I saw more gold in those pans when you were flashing them up while you were panning. And I did, but it's not gold. This is what I found. As you can see, 2 of those pieces were in the plus 10. The other 2 pieces were in the minus 10 plus 20. And I tested these, and they are not gold. I do not know what they are. When I saw these, I knew there was something fishy about them because they all have a very manufactured teardrop shape to them, where they have an end that comes off kind of like the pointy end of a teardrop. I will flash up some pictures of these pieces of non-gold as well as these 2 of Australian gold. And hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. So let's just go to those pictures right now. Well, as you saw, the way these look is totally different than these. Australian gold generally isn't very smooth. It's kind of rough and crystallized, which is one thing that makes it really cool to find. And this just looks manufactured. So I tested it with my gold tester, and it did not register as 22 karat, 18 karat, 14 karat, or even 10 karat. I did also test this piece just to make sure, and this one came out at 22 carats or better. So I am pretty sure this is natural Australian gold. I have no idea what this is, and it will not be counted in my ROI. So let's just weigh up the gold, the real gold I found in the plus 10. 0.055. The minus 10 plus 20. 0.155. Minus 20 plus 40. 0.050. And lastly, the minus 40, which I don't think is going to budge a scale. And it didn't. So let's just weigh everything up. .260. And now let's just talk about Paydirt difficulty. Now for Paydirt difficulty, this stuff wasn't too challenging. It did have gold in all the classifications. It did have some black sands that were not magnetic, and it was a little bit cloudy, but the cloudiness was really only in the plus 10, the minus 10, plus 20. The finer the material was, the less cloudy it was. So it really wasn't too difficult, but this is what made it very, very difficult. A beginner panner might think that is gold. If you don't have a gold tester or you're not used to looking at gold, you might assume this is gold and add it to your total. So for a beginner, I'm giving this a hard. This is some semi-difficult material to go through, but this really makes it a hard pan for a beginner. For an advanced panner, I would give it a medium because, again, it is a little bit tricky to go through, and it does have some stuff in it that is not gold and looks like gold. For an expert panner, I'm going to give this an easy. I don't think there was anything really difficult in the panning itself, and I think an expert panner would be able to tell that that is not gold right off the big bat like I did, and then they can test it and see. So now, let's just get to the ROI and the review. All right, finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get right to it. This again was from Subconnect, an eBay seller. It was his 300-gram bag. It had no guaranteed amount of gold, but it did say that it was 100% guaranteed to be natural and high purity gold. The cost was 69 AUD or $49.91 USD. Shipping was $24 AUD or $17.36 in US currency. So total cost right here, 93 AUD or in American dollars, $67.27. Now the actual gold I recovered, which is right here, was 0.260 grams. The fake gold, which pretty much looks like brass and copper mixed, was 0.425. So it would have been almost 3/4 of a gram if this wasn't fake gold. Now the gold spot on the day this was received was $60.63, making the actual gold's value worth $15.76. Now for my ROI, I am not going to calculate in the shipping cost because I think most people who will be ordering Paydirt from overseas, it is more about the experience than the actual ROI. So I will tell you what the ROI is with shipping, but for my calculations and my final total, I will only be doing the ROI without shipping. So my ROI without shipping was 31.58%, or on my scale, a 3.2. Now, if you did want to calculate it in shipping, it would be a 23.43%, or on my scale, a 2.3. But I'm going to stick to the 31.58% because, again, I was trying to buy some Australian Paydirt, have some fun going through some Australian Paydirt, and find some Australian gold. Not this stuff. Now for fun factor, I'm giving a 0. While I did have a little bit of fun going through it, I think having to deal with fake gold ruined any fun that I might have had finding some of the Australian gold. For Paydirt description, they're only getting a 4. I found a lot of their description to be too vague, where it says it's good for an expert panner as well as a beginner, and I don't think you really can have those types of bags if you want to recover all the gold, that is. For quantity and packaging, they're getting a 9, and this is pretty much the only redeeming quality of this bag of Paydirt, and that was that it was over 300 grams and it came in a coffee style bag, so they're getting a 9 for that. Now for customer service and shipping, they're getting a 6. I'm giving them an 8 for customer service, and we will talk a little bit more about that in a second, but they did respond to my questions about this fake gold rather quickly, as well as previously when I'd emailed them before I purchased this Paydirt, and their customer service was pretty good. I do have some issues with their customer service, and again, I'll talk about that in a second. For shipping, I'm only giving them a 4. This Paydirt took 16 days, over 2 weeks before they shipped it out. And then it spent less time in transit. It took 13 days in transit. And I don't think anyone should have to wait 16 days before you purchase something and it is dropped in a mailbox. So I'm only giving them a 4 for shipping. So total score for customer service and shipping is a 6, which makes my total score for Subconnect-Mining's Australian Paydirt 300-gram bag a 4.4. So my total score for Subconnect-Mining's 300-gram bag is a 4.4. It's really disappointing. I was really hoping this would be a good bag of Paydirt. I even didn't calculate into it the shipping cost because this is something I really wanted to pan out and also to get some Australian gold. And now a little bit more about the customer service. When I contacted them about this fake gold, they told me this Paydirt had been recalled. And this is the first time I've ever heard of Paydirt being recalled, but they recalled this Paydirt. The only problem I have with that, though, is they didn't tell me it was recalled until I complained. They did state they sent out a recall notice to everyone, but this bag of Paydirt was purchased off of eBay, and eBay saves every single message anyone has ever sent to you, and no recall message was ever sent. Now, they did state in the recall that they would either replace the bag or refund the money 100%, so I could have gotten a total refund on this bag, which would have made the 31.58% ROI much easier to deal with because it would have been free. But I ended up telling them just to reship a new bag of Paydirt, and I will review that one, but I will also probably have to put a disclaimer in it because they might have added extra gold simply because the last bag was such a dud. So, total score 4.4, Subconnect Mining, eBay seller. I have to say it's pretty disappointing, but I will see what their next bag has. I really wanted this bag to be a good bag because it is so hard to get Australian Paydirt, but this one just wasn't a hit. I will also add a comment below this video and pin it and keep you up to date on the new bag of Paydirt, when it ships, when it arrives, and what its results are, but I probably will shoot a video about that. But just in case you don't see that other video later on and you're just watching this one, you can go to the comments below and find out what kind of bag the second one was. All that's left, though, is to give away a 24-karat gold-plated dime and flash up the score. So let's just flash up the score right here. Now, before I give away today's 24-karat gold-plated dime, I do need to give some shout-outs to some of my newest Patreon members. And that's Ryan Nelson, Troy Ray, and Vincent Bersane. So thank you very much for joining my Patreon page. And if anyone else is interested in supporting this channel, you can go to patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. And now, today's 24-karat gold-plated dime winner is going to be TerraHawk 2003. So, TerraHawk 2003, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching and happy panning. Oh, and if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button below.